Scene 1, Apple, take 1. Scene 1, Apple, take 2.
All right. Welcome. So today is a celebratory day for the Eveleth Iron Range Hells Angels. They found out today that we found out today that they found out last night, sometime yesterday evening, that they were not going to have to stand trial, even though as late as May 7th, which was just like 2 or 3 weeks ago, it looked like everything was a go to put them on trial for their lives. But drastically and dramatically last night, yesterday evening sometime, they found out that all the charges were going to be dropped. All the charges were dropped yesterday. So we're going to find out from the wives' perspective. We've got an opportunity to interview one of the wives, and we might get some others. Of course, it's not often that you will see the club members, especially from a club as esteemed as the Hells Angels, to come on. But they have given the wife has opportunity to come on and tell her side of things, and I think you're going to want to hear some of what she's got to say because she's not particularly happy with the situation as it's turned out, and who can blame her? So we're going to hear from that side of the fence here in about 1 minute and 7 seconds after our brief introduction. So, hey man, hang out with us. Check this out. Iron Range Hells Angels member's wife speaks out. We'll have that in 1 minute and 7 seconds. Hey man,
Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Get yourself educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe to get updated Biker News with MC Protocol. A lot of phonies popped up when this YouTube Biker News craze came about, but the man on this channel is the first to do it and the only one that never sold out. His name was Black Dragon. Started the baby and hit the ski, revving Uncle Sam. They traded that uniform for the best from the Mighty Black Sabbath. Not the band, I'm talking about the Mighty Black Sabbath. MC, where he paid his dues and he earned his stripes. From prospect all the way up to national peace. All the copycat creators and the content stealers and haters, there have been many, but there's only one legend in life. Like Michael with the cowboy hat, the nose confluence that kicks Kenny. Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Just self-educated by his books and you learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol.
Well, alrighty then, man. Alrighty. Hey, man. I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker News you can trust. And as always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Hey, listen, we got Lavish and Logic. They're both backstage, and they will be on shortly. But I want to bring to the stage, this is Black Dragon Biker News. And of course, as you know, the Eveleth chapter of the Iron Range, we found out today, or yesterday, well, you guys found out this morning, that the charges against them were dropped in a dramatic kind of fashion. The charges were dropped, and we have here the statement, or what do you call this? Some sort of what do you call it? Announcement or something. State of Minnesota, which is the plaintiff, against, here's the defendant, one of the defendants, Gerard Paul French, who was the president, do dismissal of complaint pursuant to Rule 30-01, pursuant to Minnesota Code of Criminal Procedure 30.01. The state dismisses the case without prejudice based on the interest of justice. The victims are either unwilling or unable to testify at the trial, and the state cannot prove the case. It cannot prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt without the testimony from these victims that had made all of those claims. And so, for whatever reason, they're either unwilling or unable to testify, and they had no choice but to drop the defense or drop the prosecution. And this is signed by the St. Louis County Attorney, Christopher Flory. And I have these same things for my guest's husband and some other members of the club that were also got this same letter. Here's another one, and I believe that was your husband's letter. And then here's another one. So I only have 3. I don't know if there were 3 or there were 4, but these are 3 of them, and they all got the same letter, exact same words. So I want to bring to the show Shaina, who is married to Paul. What's up with you? Hold on, let me get you some applause. Whoa, wrong button. Here we go. Applause. There we go. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're not nervous or anything. It's just some people talking on Zoom right now, and they're only the whole world will be watching. That's it. But
That's it. That's all.
That's all. So, man, this has been an ordeal for you, huh?
Yes, it has been a long, almost year and a half. It's been a long time.
So, how do you feel now that it's provincial? I say provisionally because
Right.
keep your fingers crossed. But this light at the end of the tunnel you've come to, how do you feel?
It's a relief. It's a load off of everything, because you can't really plan a life when you don't know if you're going to have one.
Yeah. Did you spend any nights crying?
Many. Very many.
Yeah. Do you have children?
I do.
And so I suppose the children, everybody was affected.
Yes.
So let me ask you this, and I've asked you this before, but I stopped you before you could finish. So just right out of the box, just coming straight out of the box before I ask you a whole bunch of questions, what is it that you most want people to know when they get off of this channel after they viewed this? What do you most want people to know about your experience with this whole procedure?
Just my experience is that, you cannot judge a group of people by what they are unless you know them or, had a personal experience with them, and that there is injustices within our judicial system that need to be addressed that affects people's lives.
And by injustices, let's just get right into it. What are some of the injustices that, well, first of all, you can't judge a book by its cover. So because your man and his bros are Hell's Angels, that brings, when people see Hell's Angels walking down the street or riding motorcycles or going to the bar, there's a whole bunch that comes with it. And there's admiration, there's fear, there's starstruckness, there's hate. You guys must, you go through all of the, as you're walking with your old man, you guys go through a whole lot of probably all the different experiences of people's emotions as you walk by. That person's, oh my God, that person's looking at hate with hate. That person is, so already there's a weight that comes with being a biker and then being one of the top predominant, most famous motorcycle clubs in the world, members, old lady. So that's the whole book by its cover. What's that like, carrying that burden when you go places and stuff?
I mean, obviously it's not an easy burden, but it's a burden that I would choose every day because I know these people, they're my family. They're not bad people, and people are going to have their opinions no matter who you are or what you do. But that's just it's that their opinion. It's not an experience that they've had. They don't know these people. They
Mhm.
just see the patch and that's all they want to see,
Mhm. Mhm.
not the person as a whole.
Yeah.
So,
And yeah, society's like that, I think, in general. So the judging the book by its cover, you would just want people to consider that there are people and lives and individuals in these patches with this group as we're doing our thing in the city or wherever we are, and that you don't know us.
right.
You only it's like it's like being a social media creator. A lot of people think they know me by the persona I put off. So some people think I'm a really great guy, and then some people think I'm just a true asshole. But but you don't know me. All you know is my public me. That's
Hmm.
you don't know the real John. Like there have been times when I've been like completely depressed, like suicidal or something. And
Hmm.
everybody's seeing a jovial black dragon here, or like when I was really sick, when I was trying to finish my book, I got really, really sick with diabetes and all of that. And I'm sitting up here doing a show, but on the inside, I feel like I'm going to fall apart. So um, I can understand you with that. So people want to see so you want people to see you or at least recognize and accept that you're a real person. So not judging the book by its cover, I understand. But the other part, I don't know that I understand. I don't think people really have an experience with or even believe that it's even possible that there can be misconduct in the system or unfairness or even blatant trouble in the system. So that's something that you experience. So please talk to us a little bit about that part of the two things. You want people to understand you can't judge a book by its cover, and then you want people to understand that the system maybe could use some changing or whatever. So talk a little bit about that if you would, Shaina.
Well, the judging a book by a cover, just being with my husband, I had family that immediately stopped talking to me because they saw a documentary from the 70s or the 80s, and that was their whole view. They didn't want to meet him, know him, any of that, but they saw something and that's just what they went with. And you can't do that. These people are fathers, brothers, like these are good people. And if you don't want to take the time to know them, then that's on your own, you know, like that's your
Hmm.
loss as
Hmm.
far as I'm concerned. There are good people in the world that if you take a chance to know them, they're going to become your family.
Hmm. Hmm. So
So,
the other part, though, what are some of the things that you saw in the system that you just really couldn't believe?
uh, that's one of those things you're supposed to be able to trust your system, right?
Hmm.
Munchie!
What's up,
So,
sir?
but in my personal experience, not only for myself but my family, my son now has like a misconception of the justice system because of how this was handled and the intimidation tactics that were used throughout this whole case. And that's not something that even as an adult you want to have something happen, but even to your children,
Mm.
you know what I mean, because that's something
Hmm.
that you're going to grow up with judging for the rest of your life.
Yeah, yeah. What what were the kids going through in school? Well, no, hold on. Let me do that. Not do that yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Um, I so sympathize with you. Like I'm just I forgive me if I get emotional. I can feel it in you, and it just oh my goodness. So what
I'll probably cry on you, so it's okay.
yeah. Well, we'll be crying together. I'm trying to find my tissues now. So what was it like to discover that they may have been or that they were listening or reading your husband's text or one of the members' texts and that sort of thing when the district attorney lady, I'm not sure what you call her, prosecutor or whatever, when she revealed that she had been given uh, information that she shouldn't have, what was that whole thing like?
It was just like a betrayal and almost like a smack in the face because these are the people you were supposed to rely on for justice. The innocent feel proven guilty. And then you have stuff like that happen and it makes you question the whole system,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's frustrating, because you're in a position where you can't help you can't do anything, and it's almost like you're helpless, but these are the people that are supposed to help you.
I want to so for those that don't know, what happened is during the trial, the one of the prosecutors, one of the ladies that was involved in prosecuting the case, she was told by one of the detectives, and wasn't that detective some kind of way punished or something? Was he fired or taken off the case or something? Do you remember?
I don't remember the specifics of it, but yes, I know he was on leave.
Yeah, okay. So this detective gave her some information. Specifically, he told her, listen, some kind of way I've received information. I've listened to the attorney client or read a text or whatever. And I happen to know that the strategy of the defense, one of the defendants, will be to push for a speedy trial so that he can take so that they can take the prosecution off guard. And for him to share information germane to the case and listen to attorneys and clients or read their correspondence, this is like, law room 101 stuff. Like everybody that watched Perry Mason and all of the cop and judge channels and stuff growing up, like court TV and all that. Like everybody knows you can't do that. If you watch the O.J. Simpson trial 30 years ago in 1995, like you can't do this. So that was really crazy, and this went on. Also, there was an accusation by the defense, by you guys' side, that several of the witnesses came forward and said that they had been threatened and intimidated into testifying negatively against your husband and his co-defendants. And they came forward and said that. What did you feel about that? How did that, tell me that as part of the experience?
Honestly, I was angry. I was pissed. Like, where do you think that that's okay as your right as somebody in law enforcement to try to coerce somebody to say what you want them to say and not what actually happened?
Yeah. So in that, that had to be crazy. And these people testified that they testified
government misconduct
that they were
tonight on this Wednesday
that they were threatened. I want to bring this video up for you, and I want you to check this out. We're going to get your feelings.
Government misconduct could jeopardize a criminal case against members of the Hells Angels accused of a 2023 kidnapping and sexual assault in Eveleth. Fox 21 has reviewed documents that allege law enforcement intercepted attorney-client jail calls and shows a clear connection between an Eveleth police officer and the president of the Iron Range Hells Angels. Fox 21's Alex Evans reports.
During an omnibus hearing Tuesday at the St. Louis County Courthouse in Virginia, the attorney for Hells Angels member Paul Dabalik failed to get his case dismissed, but brought attention to an October 4th letter by Assistant County Prosecutor Christopher Flory, which summarizes a series of phone calls between him and Gilbert Police Chief Ty Takar. The conversation seemed to not only validate claims made by the defense, but also indicate a possible risk to several unrelated cases. According to this letter, Takar told Flory that he was approached by a BCA special agent several months ago. The agent had requested Gilbert Police Department's help in monitoring jail calls and texts for the case. The agent telling Takar that the request was, quote, due to a conflict with Eveleth PD. Flory's letter then indicates that at least one Gilbert officer had, in fact, been monitoring privileged jail communications. Takar refers to the BCA special agent as being, quote, stressed and overworked, and that he was, quote, going off the deep end. Takar also says that he believes the review of jail communications might be more widespread and cause issues with unrelated cases. Flory writes that Takar had heard the Hells Angels criminal case was, quote, falling apart. The letter does not clarify the source of the conflict that the BCA agent indicated with Eveleth PD. However, Fox 21's investigation has obtained documents that show a clear connection between an Eveleth police officer and the president of the Iron Range Hells Angels, Duran French. who is one of 4 Hells Angels members charged in the 2023 kidnapping and sexual assault case in Eveleth. But in 2022, Officer Anthony Gillette, a 12-year veteran of the force at the time, wrote letters of recommendation for French to have his gun rights reinstated. French lost access to firearms after he was found guilty of a felony in 2004 for a theft at a gun store in Ely, where he later admitted that he planned to take the stolen firearms to Wisconsin and sell them. In his letter to the court, Officer Gillette stated, quote, "I can think of no one who is more likely to handle a gun with greater care or maturity than Durand." Reporting from Eveleth, Alex Evans, Fox 21, local news.
Yeah, so I mean, they were putting everything against you guys they could put against you, and against the I say you guys, you didn't have any part of that, but putting everything against your husband and his brothers that they could, and so I just find it interesting that in a news report where they were talking about prosecutorial misconduct, they ended on the note of the very bad Hells Angel guy. And we were talking about prosecutorial misconduct, and we ended on the guy trying to get his gun rights back. It's just interesting. The media, did you guys see that slide of hand?
Yeah. I saw that.
That was really, really interesting. So, give me your feelings on that. What you just saw. What was it like going through that?
It was a mess. I mean, it wasn't just the news, it was every social media, the people walking down the street. I mean, it was everywhere. It wasn't just one of those things where, you could deal with it in one aspect. It was in every aspect of our lives, and that's not just for me, but my entire family.
Mm-hmm. So the witness intimidation part, how did you guys come to find out that the witnesses felt like they had been intimidated? When you found that out, what did you think? What did you like? What was your response?
My response to that is you can't intimidate somebody that fabricated a lie and used the judicial system to help themselves get clean and get paid.
Right. Yeah. So,
you can't intimidate somebody that has a guilty conscience.
So, I had heard that the defendants were able to get some sort of housing and that sort of thing, and I guess maybe were able to move to another city or something, and were able to get clean from drug addiction and all kind of stuff going on.
Well, I guess that's what you get, when you use the system uses somebody to that extent to get what they want. Yeah, I guess you're going to get stuff paid for you and get a little freebie along the way.
Okay, if I can say something, I'm listening, and it's I don't want to use the word funny, but it's odd how, like when we say some people look at all the old stuff, films from the 1930s, 40s, and everything, and they take that and they place it on people now. But it's also odd that the same legal system that accuses bikers and whatever club you're in for certain crimes, they're doing the same crimes. If it was the mafia, they'll say the mafia is intimidating witnesses. But then you have the legal system trying to intimidate witnesses, and it's
right.
odd like that. And then I saw somebody in Chris said, you wonder why kids hate cops, but you wonder why a lot of people grow up, or how they move around society, and they look at police officers with disdain, because we don't know what you might do to us. We don't know what you might be spreading around. The news and the media, the old movies, the old video, the stigmas. So everybody is a bad player. And then when things like this come out in public, then everybody said, well, see, it wasn't us, it was y'all. So yeah, and I can understand that the things that your family has been through this whole ordeal, and having to walk around. You say you have children, correct?
I do.
Yes.
And my son was
Good.
directly affected. Yeah.
Exactly,
So.
going to school and people's pointing fingers, calling names, and things of that nature. And these are people don't look at the family aspect of all of this. They only look at that. They don't look at the family aspect. I got to come home and I got to deal with this. I have to cry. I have to soothe the family while this is going on. So
Yeah, and my son had to deal with that in school and also at home because now his home is not a safe place from when the
right.
BCA came to my house. You know,
Hmm.
so that was his first and only experience.
Hey, let me jump in and ask this question. I don't know if y'all covered that or not. Like when all of this stuff coming, and I'm looking at it as a from a woman's standpoint of being a wife, did or do you think that these type of things strain the marriage itself?
Did it strain the marriage? Absolutely.
Yes.
But, you know, if you love somebody and you believe in them wholeheartedly and that they did not do these kinds of things, then you stick by your person, you know.
And I
And
agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm only saying that because I've seen different stories, different types of cases where you will have a spouse or a girlfriend, and she'll be trying to ride the whole thing out, and it just takes a mental toll on her to the point where she just gives up and say, I just can't take it no more, and she disappears, like she just leaves. You know, I wanted to know, like, at any point in time, you know, has that occurred to you where you had those moments where you like, you know what, I just can't do this no more. It's too overwhelming. I want to leave.
I had those moments where it was very overwhelming and, you know, very emotional for me, but I knew that my husband was innocent and I knew that my family was innocent and I stuck by them because that's what you do for family. That's what you do for the people you love. You know, never once in my mind did I think, oh, I need to leave because of whatever. No.
Okay. No, that's cool.
Were you ever threatened at any point by law enforcement or something that will take away your kids or any of that kind of stuff?
Yes. I actually had the BCA come to my house and basically threatened me because I was trying to help my husband's lawyer, and they told me they were going to take away my kid and like ask me if I was getting perks and stuff like that. And it was just a whole thing, and it was recorded. So.
Oh my God.
And so,
I
you know,
can
and that's
see
what
that.
that's what we're talking about. You know, for any case, we're talking about this case here, but for any case, if when the prosecution want to get you, they'll come up with all kinds of stuff and try to slide things through the cracks. They'll, you know, try to intimidate the children, intimidate the family, intimidate a cousin, aunt, grandmother, and just to get something through the cracks. But when they get caught, it's, you know, it's now it's on them. The spotlight is on them, but we're not supposed to look at that spotlight.
Well, and I guess when you realize that the case that you thought you had isn't what you had, you have to resort to other techniques.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was interesting that about and we covered that this morning about May 7th. The judge rejected your husband's claims that they had been. So here it is. Here they took it away from me. Let me see if I can get it back. The judge declined to dismiss rape and kidnapping charges due from the prosecutorial misconduct. They absolutely refused to dismiss that, citing a whole bunch of things. But the biggest thing they said was, even if it all happened, even if we were listening to your husband's communications and all that, let's just say that did happen. Well, it did happen, he said, but let me just entertain it as if it did happen. But it did happen. But
how would they know to come talk to me and threaten me otherwise?
Yeah. Yeah. And then he said, I'm still going to hold the trial. Even though all of these things happened, it didn't affect their right to a counsel. It's like, wow, you just went around every law that you guys had to keep it moving. And I thought that was crazy. And I saw that, crazy enough, I saw that in the trial today against the famous music producer, where he asked for a mistrial yesterday based on prosecutorial misconduct, and the judge basically said, "Yeah, well, that happened, but we're gonna just give a jury instruction and move on." Like the system is never going to like truly police itself.
Right. And we did have court more recently than the 7th of May, and they still were not going to.
Oh wow,
So
I didn't. The last one I found was the 7th of May. Wow.
yeah,
Wow,
we
wow,
had,
wow.
I think it was the 19th of May. So very recently.
So like you guys had hope and stuff. And what was it like? You look like you're about to cry at any second, and I don't want to
It's the sun. It's the sun.
Okay, good. What was it like to have hope and lose hope so much? I mean, this was like a sinusoidal, topsy-turvy kind of wave that you were going through.
I'm an optimistic person, and I'm usually one of those people that likes to make people happy. And this was one of the biggest roller coaster rides of my life, because not only did I have to stay strong because I had a kid at home and hold down the home front while my man was gone, I also had to be there for my family, and I had to let them be there for me, which was very hard for me to do because I was an emotional wreck. I don't like crying in front of people. I don't like looking weak because that's just not who I am. And also trying to keep myself hopeful, my son hopeful, my family hopeful. I also had to do that for my man while holding down the home front, which is a very hard thing to do when you're carrying the weight of everything in. You get a little bit of hope and then they pull it away, or, you hear this and then they pull it away. And it's one of those things that messes with your emotions, it messes with your mindset. But at the end of the day, you just gotta like stay strong and like hold it down. There's nothing else you can do,
Mm-hmm. What well, it's just wow, it's just crazy. What did you feel before yesterday? How were you feeling about the case? Where was your mindset?
It was such a whirlwind just because, in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, like we're going to get a win. Like we have people looking down on us from above that like want us to win, and it was just hard. Like we were hopeful and I was trying to stay hopeful. So like everyone around me would be, but it was one of those things that like, you got to get yourself in the right mindset for that, and we'd hear good news. And then it was like everything else got denied or dismissed or, and I honestly didn't know where it was going to go for a minute. And I didn't know if this was something I was going to have to do alone, forever with the help of my family or, any of us that were going to have to do that.
Your husband lost his job. Well, he never got bail. Is your husband the one that never got bail? Or did he
right,
get
because he was native. Correct.
Okay, so he was gone this whole time. He's been gone for a year and a half.
He was gone for 10 months exactly.
10 months. So Lord have mercy. So he lost his job. You say you almost lost your job. I
did. I actually work for a numerous amount of companies that take care of veterans and take care of the elderly. And I had people that I have never met just from in town, social media, that did not want me working with their loved ones. And like, it was just one of those things where I didn't know if I was going to wake up tomorrow and have a job and be able to support myself and my family and my husband while he was gone, or like have a house at the end of the day, and that's a shitty feeling just based on a persona that people have. You know what I mean?
Or guilt by association. Like I didn't do anything.
Right.
And my kids didn't do anything. Did your kids suffer at school where they picked on him?
He didn't suffer so much at school because he was online at the time, but he was there when the BCA knocked on my door and raided my house. Yeah. So that was luckily my son has a good sense of humor. So when he was in the front yard with me, handcuffed at 14, he told me that it wasn't as bad as it looked in the movies. So I mean,
it could be worse, Mom.
But yeah, he was affected for a long time, because that's supposed to be his safe place, his safe space where he can be with his family and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I did it, and I know that this is kind of off, kind of off, but being a kid, and I don't know, like, what kind of kids you got. Something like that would have happened to, one of us back in the 80s or the 90s. That's like a cool story, and everybody at school wants to know, the
Right.
story, like, oh wow. Now I know a lot of a lot of things change now that social media that plays a factor. You got kids just being not the same as they were when I was growing up. For your kid, I don't know if it's kids or your child, your 14-year-old. When you say it was hard for him, I take it that he didn't have cool stories that kids wanted to hear. It was more of a mockery.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
got you.
Yeah. And my son's not one of those people to just throw that out there. Like, he's a very humble child. So he wouldn't just throw out like, oh yeah, guess what, guys? It was just an experience that he had lived through and we had to live through together and try to figure it out, all while hoping and praying and holding down the fort.
So, what was it like? You get in a small town, 3,000 people. What's it like going out to dinner and moving throughout the town? Like, do you have a scarlet letter on your forehead or something? Or
It feels like that sometimes. Like you said, there's different opinions and perspectives that people have. Some people, want to say hi to us and like introduce themselves and support us, and some people just see that patch and look the other way or give us dirty looks or whatever they feel they need to do.
None of this has you and I'm not saying you're supposed to, but what you have went through in that small town, are you content with staying there, or do you have moments where you feel like, hey, I want to pick up and leave, but then on the flip side, I'm not going to let nobody run me away? Do you have those back and forth moments amongst within yourself?
I'm from a small town originally, and I had a really rough upbringing with like foster care and all kinds of stuff. So I'm used to that kind of, perception or idea that people have of me. So on one hand, yeah, I would like to move away because people have their opinions and stuff like that. But at the other hand, I'm like, no, I'm going to make you look at me and make you look at my husband because you guys had this whole idea of who he was as a person and what he did as a person without knowing him, without knowing the story, without reading the facts. So no, I'm going to make you look at us. Like, we live here. This is our home too. You made us feel uncomfortable. Now it's our turn.
Somebody said Chris is trying to come on. Is Chris trying to call in or something? I don't think we're gonna have anybody calling in, Chris. I just really want to keep this to her right now, and I don't want to expose the channel to any craziness or anything on the phone. So I just want to keep this towards her and her experience. Let me ask you. Financially, what kind of hole, or I this might be a little deep, so if you don't want to answer this, you don't have to, but have you been put in a financial hole or something like that because of this case? I mean, it's got to be expensive.
Well, for the case, I'm not going to speak on like what they have going on with their stuff, but for me personally, I know that once my fiance went away and like the bills and stuff that I had and making sure that he was taken care of and we were taken care of, I had to pick up a second job. I pawned some of my favorite jewelry. Like, it was just work, and trying to keep everybody happy, to the best of my ability. And that's a rough place to be because you can't parent, you can't enjoy your life because you don't want to, because you're trying to hold everything down and make sure that everything's taken care of and everybody is taken care of.
So as we move a little bit forward into this, okay, so we're going to move forward and so they're just now getting the story out like 40 minutes ago, 4 hours ago. When I did this yesterday, last night, and early this morning, this story wasn't out at all. Here we are 8 hours ago. So yes, they're all behind me. They're all behind myself, Lavish, and Logic. But this is just now hitting the newspapers. And so let's see how, this is my first time looking at this, my first time reading this. Case dismissed against 4 men accused in the 2023 Evelyn assault kidnapping. The St. Louis County attorneys, St. Louis County, yeah, all these names always threw me off. Virginia, Minnesota, this just throws me off. The St. Louis County, Minnesota Attorney's Office has dismissed the cases against 4 members of the Iron Range. Let me make this bigger so everybody can see it. of the Iron Range Hells Angels who were accused of being involved in an alleged 2023 kidnapping and sexual assault case in Evelyn in a court document filed late Wednesday afternoon in the 6th District Court in Virginia. Assistant St. Louis County Attorney Christopher Flory wrote in part that the victims are either unwilling or unable to testify at the trial and the state cannot prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt without testimony. That's not in part. That's just about damn near everything they said. The state dismissed the case without prejudice, which means they could refile at a different time. But I believe there's an amount of time that they have. It's not forever, I don't think. According to the court records, the 4 men, and they named the guys here, were arrested and charged in connection with an alleged kidnapping and assault that took place over a 2-day time period in late November of 2023. The case made local and state headlines partially because of their membership in the Iron Range Hells Angels, which has a clubhouse on Green Street in Evelyn, where, according to court records, law enforcement officials said a man referred to as a victim 1, was allegedly taken. And I lost my place. Allegedly taken, held against his will, and the man claimed to have been assaulted. Court records also state a woman was allegedly sexually assaulted in the at an Evelyn home prior to the victim 1 being allegedly taken from the home against his will. You know, funny thing about this story and stories like this, it gives the allegations, but it doesn't say, and oh, by the way, the defense was very devout in saying that no DNA was ever brought to bear to prove those allegations. That's not here, but there was no DNA. Let's see if it's in. That's not the right story. Let's see if it's in one of these. So, charges dismissed. That was 40 minutes ago. This one was 4 hours ago. Let's see what it says. So, again, prosecutors have this. Oh man, I got to go clear my cookies. Okay, so I probably would bet you that it's not in there. So let me ask you this: when you got this call or letter or text or whatever from the court yesterday, or when you were informed by whomever informed you, what was your feeling? What was your mindset? Were you elated? Were you explain that to me? Tell me that.
I honestly didn't know what to think because this case has been such a tribulation, however you want to say it, of push and pull and emotions and ups and downs, that for a minute I just had to digest what I had heard because it didn't seem real to me. And to watch my husband's expression, to hear that he already knew, but we already knew that it came out officially, was just one of the best moments, for us. And it took me a minute to be excited about it because I was just waiting for that other shoe, because that's how this whole case is gone.
Yeah. So it was unbelievable at first.
Yeah.
I can bet.
Has it set in yet? Has it set in?
I don't think it's so much set in for me because it's been such a long journey that, I don't think either one of us really knows what to do. That now that we have that and it's out there and he's free to hang out or do anything, leave the house, what is that? What do we do?
Did he ever get out on probation, or you just?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So he's been on that since October.
So now he can just go wherever and do whatever. Did they come get their monitoring equipment or whatever the case?
They sent him his stuff last night saying he's released from probation, and
that's good.
It's just what do we? What do we do? What do we do first?
It's like they got to eat humble pie. Okay, right. here's your stuff back. Give us our stuff back, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whatever you do, tell that man to keep a low profile because they'll be mad.
Mm-hmm. He's on the wifey probation right now, so we just
don't jaywalk. Don't jaywalk. Don't chew gum and eat ice cream at the same time.
Yep.
So has he been home yet?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Has he been home
yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Man. Well, okay. So living through this experience, we talked to a lot of clubs around the world, but we mostly talk to the clubs or the members, or we don't really always get it from the woman's side. So what is going to be your advice to your fellow one percenter sisters out there whose husbands may and fiancés, boyfriends, husbands, significant others?
Tammy Wynette.
What's your advice to them that may be going through something similar or may have to go through something similar in the future? What's your takeaway at this point for those ladies?
My takeaway would be is, there's always going to be those people, whether they're women or men, that are not going to like you. They're not going to like your family, and that's one of those things where you have to decide whether or not you're going to stand your ground and stand behind your family and your man, or, not put up with it. And, being a woman that has been through some of these situations that my fiance was accused of, and hearing that, it wasn't just him that this has happened to or whatever, like, it's just, you got to hold it down, and if that's one of those things and you love your man and you love your family, that's just what you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it just came. Where did you get this fortitude, this internal strength? Who do you credit with making you tough?
My life. I don't know. Like I said, I had a hard upbringing. I had a hard life, and it was just one of those things where you either sat down and shut up or stood up and did something. So I've always been one of those people, most of the time I probably don't have a filter when I should, but that's also, one of those inner strengths that you got to find as your own person and as a whole, as a couple and in your family, to be able to stand your ground.
Any of you guys have anything for her?
I was just gonna say, I know you asked her that question, and before she answered, the first thing that came to my mind was Tammy Wynette. Stand by your man. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Actually, the Blues Brothers sang that too.
Tammy Wynette, man, 1968, bro.
Yeah, the Blues Brothers, 1980 something. Then the police wonder why public hates them so much, and unfortunately, even if they charge you and you are not found guilty, the shit still shows up in your record. It will haunt you too. Yes, so you guys got a lot of life repairing to try to do, huh?
Yeah, just stand strong. Stand strong.
Yeah.
Both of you.
I want to tell you that I'm very impressed with you, and your story is compelling. That's why I wanted people to hear it, and I'm glad for you that you've got an outcome that is going to work for you and your family way better than what you were facing, and you're very strong, and you're strong to come on the show, and you came on, and I think you've represented yourself and your family well, and he should be very proud of you, as I know he is. Just to see you when he came home, that had to be everything for him. So, hey, yeah. So when we bring our Ain't No Punk Awards back, you will definitely be getting the Black Dragon Biker TV Ain't No Punk Award.
I'll be holding you to that.
So,
Hey, I got something that I want to I got something that I want to talk about. So listen, you live in a population.
How you gonna talk about
he was
something
doing fine all show.
How you gonna talk about something you're breaking up?
He was wanting to talk, and now all of a sudden, and he's gone for real. Wow.
Yeah, he done froze up.
Okay. Well, listen,
it ain't happening.
No, man, let it go, bro. Let it go.
It ain't happening, Lavish.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It ain't happening, Lavish.
I tell you what, if we kick him, he'll come back. Okay, we're gonna kick him, and yeah, he'll try to come back. Listen, Shaina, thank you so much for being a part of the show, and
thank you for having me.
Yeah, God bless you on your journey, and tell the folks that me and he's back. Tell the folks me and Lavish want to come up and ride like
you are welcome anytime.
Hey,
No,
hey,
so
you're
here's the thing I want to ask. Here's the thing I want to ask because it wouldn't be a good show without me sharing
Uh-oh.
my thoughts in my head.
Uh-oh.
So your population is about 3,000 people. There's about a
Correct.
3,000 So and I just need to know a couple things. First, one, is there a large population of black people in there in your town?
I wouldn't say an overly large population, no.
Okay, because listen, this is where I'm getting at. Black Dragon, hear me out. Hear me out.
Here we
Can
go.
you
Here
I
we
think I
go,
know
imagine?
where
y'all.
you're going with this.
Here we go. Here we
Listen,
go.
can you imagine a cool black guy like me coming into a town with a population of 3,000 people, and I'm like the coolest black dude in town? How many
you're
single
the only
people?
black dude in town.
No,
Of
I
course
mean,
you're gonna be of course.
no. Listen. Here's my next question. What's the population off the top of your head? What you say is single ladies? You
Single
gotta give.
ladies that you would want to mess with?
Oh
I
wow.
don't know. That I couldn't tell you. But,
Hey,
as the coolest black guy, you should definitely come and ride with some of the coolest people I know. So,
I would like to come and I would like some of the coolest people in that population of the female gender to definitely ride me.
Oh
oh,
wow. Yeah.
What did
Yeah.
he say? To what?
Don't worry about it, preacher. Don't worry about it.
Oh
That
my
wasn't
God.
for
No,
you.
cause you remember that show? Like I want to be like the dude. You remember that show with Patrick Dempsey back in the '80s that came out? He was the pizza delivery guy, and they asked for I forgot what the topping was, and then when he went over to the house, you had all the husbands in the town. They wanted to beat the pizza guy up because he was going over there, and the women were liking him. Well, hey, I can come to that little town
Well, we're going.
and,
We're
huh?
going. We're going.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, can
Yeah.
you let
They
the
told
town
us
people know that
you won't be
that
the
Lavish
coolest.
is coming?
You won't be the coolest black man there though. There, I'll be
Who else
there.
is gonna be there cooler
I,
than me?
I'm gonna.
I'll let you guys figure that out.
Right.
Hey,
That's an
I'm
listen.
argument for
saying,
you two.
I want to come to town, to that little small town, and I want to be the guy that the people like, though. The people like, and they say, well, we're having a barbecue at 5 if you want to come by.
That
We're
sounds like
having
We barbecue all the time, so
sounds like when I first got to Australia. That's another show. Listen, Shaina, thank you so much for coming on the
No,
show.
yeah, appreciate that, Shayna. I mean, just to give an insight, man, I think that was good. And, to hear a different perspective coming from somebody that's dealing, in it, dealing
Directly
in the
with it.
situation and gotta,
Yeah.
be mentally strong for the situation at hand.
Yeah.
well, like I said, thanks for having me and thanks for letting me share my point of view and my journey.
All right.
So,
Thank
All
you.
right.
Have a
I
great
do want
one.
to come to a
Blessings
small.
on you,
I do
Shaina.
want to come to a
all right,
to
bye
that
guys.
small town.
Bye.
I do
Bye
want to
bye.
come to that small town. I might
Yeah.
find my wife.
Well, they've invited us.
I'm
And Shaina said we
trying to
can come
go. I
anytime.
might find my wife there.
I'm going. So when y'all go, Black Dragon, just let me know what happens. Just let me know.
You're not coming with us?
They invited you to.
I'm sure they would have.
I don't go anywhere where I'm not invited.
I'm sure they'll have an extra space for you.
They're like, man,
We might
nobody
need a
said
preacher to pray us out of.
nobody said Logic can come. Oh.
Okay, I'll make sure that I'll ask. Can we bring Logic too?
Hey, you know how they got a town? You know how they got you know how they always be talking about these women being like the little town whore? That's
Nah, I don't know
gonna
nothing about that.
Yeah.
that's
I've heard
gonna
of
be
that.
me. That's gonna
Oh,
be me. The little town whore.
it's time for my dinner.
The little town.
It's time.
Why do you
It's
do
a
this?
population of 3,000, and I'm a fresh fish. I'm a fresh fish.
You might be a fish out of water up there.
You know them ladies gonna be on me.
Are you going to be able to handle the ladies? You only got half of your body. You
I want to be healed. I
all
want to be healed by then.
Hey, they said we can come ride with the Hells Angels. That's what I want to go ride with the Hells Angels. That's going to be cool, man.
That is
That's
gonna
going to be cool. That's going to be epic video right there.
Now,
want you to-
now, I don't see. Well, it was a made-for-TV video, a movie.
They gonna say, "Hey, Lavish, everything good?
These
Let me know
guys
if you
were
need
riding with
anything. I need
I don't
one of
know.
them women
I don't
in
know
the
if y'all
town."
saw that. What
I
about the
saw it.
guys? They got with the guys that they wanted to be a club and
Yeah,
whatever, and they wrote and they couldn't hang.
They rode with the Hells Angels and got turned on. They did something stupid. They had some stupid colors on or something. I forget what it was that they did. That but they still got to ride with the Hells
No,
Angels.
they got to ride with them. It was just the first initial thing in that little biopic 3-part, 4-part, whatever they want to call it, thingamajigger. They turned on each other. But I gotta go eat.
Did you hear what Callie said? That's get a rope country. You better chill, Lavish. No, they got some folks.
Yeah,
up there.
Goose. That's what it was. Ice Cream Man from Hell.
They
Yeah.
want to hang me. They be like, "Man, this motherfucker that came in here and knocked off 12 of our women. Get this motherfucker out of here."
Look. See. I ain't going.
That's
He didn't. Lavish that came to town and didn't have my grandmother.
Oh my goodness!
Look, I'm gonna keep. Look here. We gonna keep this straight logical. Logic
Granny
ain't
was
going.
a little frisky.
Listen, he ain't fixed to do that. He just talking. He ain't fixed to do nothing up there in them
Granny was
people's
a little
place.
frisky.
Oh my goodness! Hey man, that was just an incredible show. All the things she had to go through, all the range of emotions, and you can still see that it affects her greatly. But I tell you what, she got her family back, man, and she's gonna grab her family and hold them strong, I'm sure. So that's we get so few of these stories that turn out on the side of the club.
Man, you know what, man? No matter what, man, that lady that went through, man, and no matter what anybody say, she can give a care less about it. Because she got, at the end of the day, she got her dude back. She got her family. They about to be working through it and whatever. She still got her sanity and everything else, man. Shit. What else can you really ask for?
Yep, that's true. That's true. All right, guys. It's time to get the heck up out of here. That was a great show, man. 57 minutes. Lavish, you got something coming up, man?
Oh, man, I got a whole town I'm trying to go run through.
I'm gone, yo.
You run through it. You run through it, Lavish. We'll let you do that. I don't know. You tripping hard today. Okay.
No, man, I ain't got nothing else to say, man. Besides, everybody be safe out there as always, man. I be worried about everybody and everybody that's watching, man. I be, wanting and hoping that they live another day to tune in and enjoy life and to watch the podcast and watch us and enjoy us.
Amen. So you got your thing coming up for what is that? Labor Day?
Labor Day weekend in Detroit, Michigan, August 29th to the 31st. Lavish Biker Bash, man, is going on, man. Big bike event, man. Big party. Bike show, sound competition, a lot of networking, fellowshipping. All the other coasts, they do something Labor Day weekend, so it's not like I'm the only one. But sometimes you get people that don't want to travel across the country, man, to go to an event, but they still want to get out and do something. And it wasn't nothing really being done like that over here, that I can recall, or that was big enough where it was generating, the buzz. Now, I'm not knocking anybody because I don't know everybody that's doing something, but I know the last few years of me doing it, it's been great, man. And people been coming from, the Midwest over to my event. So I'm inviting everybody out to it. It's in Detroit, the Motor City. We're gonna have fun. It's a great event. Like I say, man, it's problem free. Everybody's welcome. That's it, man. It's just everybody's welcome, man. Great event, man. Great turnout, great time. Give you something to do if you like Cincinnati, or Illinois, Indiana, New York. You can leave out and stay overnight and go back home. It won't cost you as much as driving, to the other end of the world, man. And there's a lot of times that we done did that And people's money is just not the same, man. So, you know, you want a quick trip or you want a long distance trip, man. Whatever you do. Detroit, Michigan is where it's at. The Motor City, man. Motown.
All right, my man. We appreciate you. We will see you same bat time, same bat channel tomorrow morning with the news, Lavish. Appreciate you. Much love and catch you later. And Logic, time for you. Time for you to get up out of here. And
time for me to go. Time for me to go.
Here we go. Action.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna give my clothes. Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is your boy Logic over here at Keep It Logical. Remember these little few words I want to say to you. Ride hard, ride safe. Always, always ride on faith. And keep it logical.
Keep it logical, man. Peace. Hey, and I'm your boy Black Dragon. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker News you can use. Hey, man, if you like the channel, please hit the like button. If you like the show, please hit the like button. If you learn something, please share it with someone who might need to know it. Hey, listen, get my newest book, Motorcycle Club Protocol 101. Motorcycle Club Protocol 101, available on Amazon, Kindle, and at blackdragonsgear.com. Join me with the Forsaken Motorcycle Club up in New York City next month, the weekend of the 13th. They're going to have their 20th annual, is it? 19th or 20th annual. And, man, I'll be there signing books and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be most amazing, man. I hope you guys show up. Come check out your boy. If you got one of my books, I will absolutely autograph it for you. So bring it, man. Come and hang out with us at the Forsaken MCs party up there, man, and we're just going to have a great time. I'm Black Dragon. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks for tuning in. And absolutely, man, get skinny.
And they were going to kill anybody that came at them and told them anything. And I was terrified for him because he was serious as hell. So
Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
If you are seeking clarity about issues stemming from problems or crises occurring within your motorcycle club, then set up a consultation with Black Dragon. Black Dragon has over 30 years of experience in the motorcycle club world, having served as a national president of the 50-year-old Black Sabbath MC Nation for nearly 10 years. Black Dragon is a veteran negotiator, skilled in crisis management, conflict resolution, inter-club issues, press conferences, and club reputation management. You can set up an appointment to speak with him by phone at clarity.fm/black-dragon. Get the clarity you deserve to help make your MC the best place it can possibly be.
It's definitely a big issue for you too. But I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute. What's up, Mama Ro? I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute and what our responsibilities are and what we need to think about. Because if you don't really know what's going on the set, you can find yourself in kind of a precarious predicament if you make the wrong kind of moves Number one, Black Dragon. Stay in your lane. Find a corner and put your motorcycle club in it. If you're a president, you want to find a corner and put your motorcycle club in it. What I mean is, the second be volatile, it can be very dangerous. And when you have that kind of thing going on, this set's not safe. So as a 99%er motorcycle club, what you want to find is yourself in your business, in your lane, while all of the fancy stuff gets handled on other levels.
Yeah, you heard that, didn't you? On other levels. Tried to tell you suckers, Black Dragon is the man. The Black Dragon is the man. A real OG, bonafide, certified, a true MC. The Biker Boys, the Biker Boys. It's in the house, most definitely. Blow the whistle for Black Dragon, Biker TV. That's right, I said Biker TV. See, one day, young Dragon made his way out the Navy to become a prospect. Some people thought he was crazy, but 5 years later, hard work became a habit. He became the president of the mighty Black Savage Nation. MCs, y'all, respectfully. Black Dragon, Black Savage, MC. That's right, y'all. Give it a thumbs up. Black Dragon Biker TV at its best. Oh yeah, and don't forget to get his prospect Bible book. So proud of him. Man, he just don't know. He's a real legend. And y'all know it, and I know it. That's right, Black Dragon. That's right. Glad I met you, my friend. Black Dragon, I'm the Midnight Ghost Rider. Dub V, y'all. Love you, Black Dragon. Peace. And get skinny. Like and share. Goodbye.